differences between Japanese whiskey and Scotch whiskey. Very difficult to say. Like champagne and sparkling wine, quality is both good. Just champagne come from obviously Champagne area, and sparkling wine come from the other area. So, as you know yourself, making method of Japanese whiskey is exactly identical from this country. Whiskey from this country. I can say big differences, perhaps weather. That's the differences.
But Hokkaido is so the North Island in Japan is very similar in climate to Scotland, is it not?
Yeah, Hokkaido and Scotland can be similar. I don't know, I've been to Hokkaido only once when I was little. Maybe nearly identical. Yeah, weather, like a 10 years, 15 years, 20 years period, I think it changes. It gives different character, I believe. Because we have really, really hot summer, which is this country doesn't. I think that's effect to whiskey flavor. Cask management, as you know yourself, even Scottish whiskey company, some companies, they spend a lot of effort to get really good cask. Of course, our Japanese company, Japanese whiskey, they spend a lot of effort to get decent cask. But also we use very distinctive Japanese oak, which is, I read about it, doesn't suitable for short period of maturation. I think they started using just late 70s, so over 20 years ago. So now those whiskey matured in a Japanese oak cask. Those whiskey actually on the market. I tasted, taste really good.
And are these Japanese casks, are they fresh wood filled with with Japanese spirit, or have they contained something previous like bourbon or sherry?
Japanese oak, I believe, as some people call it, virgin cask, not filled before, because obviously we don't make bourbon, we don't make sherry back home, so I'm sure that's a brand new wood. In Japan, we have, I guess, 8, could be 9 malt distillery.
And each of the make from each of these is available as a single.
Each distillery bottled as single malt.
And sometimes with several expressions.
Especially big company like Suntory, Nikka, they do different vintage, different type of bottling, peated or non-peated.
Can you show me some examples?
For example, this one, Yamazaki, 12 years old. This one actually very common Japanese whiskey. You can get pretty much worldwide, UK, America, perhaps Canada as well. But also they started doing this vintage malt. This one 1989, but they've got several different vintage.
And this is from Yamazaki Distillery?
It's all come from Yamazaki Distillery.
What are any other Suntory examples?
They own another distillery called Hakushu. Also this one, I think worldwide market, only 12 years old available. But also, this vintage only available in Japan, or maybe you can buy on the internet.
And what about Nikka?
Nikka also does similar type of stuff. But no reason, I don't know why, I don't stock much Nikka here.
What are these other examples that you have?
That's a friend of mine. He owns a very small distillery, almost like a Edrador. And his grandfather set up distillery quite a long time ago. But he sold his business. Now he bought back the distillery. So he's going to reproduce very end of this year.
What is that distillery called?
This whiskey, this used to be called Hanyu. I think, don't know after reopen, still called Hanyu or not. Yeah, he's trying to set up just near Tokyo.
Any other distilleries in Hokkaido, in the North Island?
That's the second oldest distillery called Yoichi.
Yoichi.
Yoichi, yeah. I never been, but There is one.
And Yoichi was set up, was it not, by the father of Japanese distilling, who I believe had done his training here?
Masataka Taketsuru, he studied distilling and how to make whiskey here. Then he went back to Japan with things he learned. Then he opened distillery in Hokkaido.
When was this?
Just after he left Suntory. He used to work in a Suntory. 1934. I'm not very sure.